liberty and justice for all.
And do you want to do roll call? Mr. Fleming? Here. Mr. McCurry? Here. Mr. Payne? Here. Mr. Wigan? Here. Mr. Hollabaugh? Here. Mr. Chair, you have a quorum. Executive session. Gavin? Yes, the board met in executive session prior to the public hearing, which preceded tonight's meeting to discuss matters of litigation. Okay. The board will hear a comment on agenda-related, this is for public comment. The board will hear a comment on agenda-related items at this time. Please approach the microphone, clearly state your name and address, and limit your comments to 5 minutes.
Jeff Matthews, 540 Dana Drive. My question is on, obviously, the Oakwood Heights 2. First of all, thank you for your consideration with the agenda item for the temporary fix. But I was going to ask you more tonight about the long-term fix. I asked to see the original bond that the developer had issued for the original plan. I was told it's illegal. I'm not sure what that means. Can we see the original bond of the developer?
Yeah, I haven't had any discussions, I don't think, with Mr. Nader or the board on that, but I can't, as I sit here right now, I can't think of a reason why that document would not be available to be copied and obviously we would provide you the original because it's a performance security, but I think a copy of that bond can be made available.
So if he has that bond and he delivered it to you folks in the beginning of the project, why do you need this other bond, the performance bond, to take over the roads? May I ask?
Yeah, so 2 different types of bonds. One is a performance bond, and that ensures that the original plan improvements are built in accordance with the specifications and approvals by the township.
Okay.
The second kind of bond that we're talking about is what's called a maintenance bond, and maintenance bonds apply to what we call public improvements. In other words, those improvements or those roads, sewers, things like that, they're going to be dedicated to and accepted by the township as public improvements. As part of that acceptance process, the developer is required to provide a maintenance bond so that if in the 18 months after they're accepted, these improvements are accepted by the township, there's an issue, the township has the ability to go back against this maintenance bond to cover the cost of those issues.
If he said, I'm never going to do that, I'm not going to do the upgrades, I'm not going to do this sign, what's our options sitting here today?
I would recommend you speak to an attorney to determine what your options are with respect to the developer.
So is the performance bond the single most important thing? You know, if we got street signs and we put them in ourselves with your help, if we did the back grading along the curb, is it the performance bond the single thing that's the most important?
I think it's difficult for me to answer that question. The performance bond just secures the developer's performance of the obligations related to the approval of the development, the construction of those improvements. So, you know, when there's a dispute between the HOA and the developer, as this obviously appears to be, you know, the township obviously tries not to get in the middle of that dispute. I mean, we hold the security to make sure that someone does it. As to the HOA versus developer, frankly, it's not, the township doesn't care either way as long as the work is done, it's inspected, and once all that work is completed, then performance bond is released.
So if he's working on East Union with another development and he's doing the same, why even give him the inspections? Why let him go? Why not hurt him in a pocket as opposed to us who have to hire an attorney?
Right. Like I said, I can't advise you as to,
I'm advising you. Can't we stop all the inspections on this new in West Deer, this new development?
we have obligations under the Pennsylvania Uniform Construction Code as to timing for inspecting. If we receive an application, for instance, for a building permit, we can't just say we're not going to inspect properties.
But when he calls, do you have to answer, because he don't answer to us?
Listen, I'm not defending this particular developer, but I do think it would behoove the HOA or individual residents of that plan to consult with legal counsel to determine what options you may have.
One of my neighbors needed an ambulance, called 911. They said, okay, it's on the way, and it went to Dana Court in Minnesota,
Township.
up by Route 8. They don't see our street. I haven't seen it. I've lived there for a year. Walked the dog twice a day for a year. I've never seen a police officer in our plan because we don't belong to West Deer officially or whatever.
Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong, we're not legally allowed to take those roads over without a maintenance plan.
Correct, yeah. Well, not only is the developer contractually obligated to provide the maintenance bond, but the municipality's plan code, which is the state statute governing this process, specifically provides for that 15%. I'm not gonna say that.
My words.
Okay.
We're not passionate about that, but we're trying to work
Yeah.
it
And
together.
I appreciate it, and I thank you again for the short-term remedy. But this could go on for years.
We will continue to
We had to get an
explore
attorney
ways to go.
still.
The best I can say, especially in public meetings, we'll continue to explore ways we can potentially assist you from the township side.
I looked at some of the older documents, I know where he lives now. I'm an older man, right? If I was a young man, I might address him right to his front door. And I'm not saying I'm not gonna do that, but, you know, he's just not a developer, I would ever do business with West Deer. Thank you.
I don't know.
Thank you.
That's what I'd like to know.
Hi, my name is Mary Newberger, and I live at 430 Dodge. And I'm, again, very thankful to you for this maintenance agreement because we got the snowstorm coming. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm trying to understand something about this maintenance bond. I guess you're the solicitor. You guys don't have any name tags, which is really weird, so I don't know who we're talking to.
We're working on this.
They're brand new.
You're the solicitor, okay. So you were talking about how there are deadlines in his new development where you have to provide, permits and inspections and everything by certain times. But there's no deadline for when he has to post a maintenance bond after he pulls out of a project? There's no deadline? There's nothing in any code that has a deadline?
So there are no specific statutory deadlines for when you have to provide a maintenance bond, except that it is upon the dedication and acceptance of the road to be public. There may be deadlines for him completing the improvements to the plan. I don't have that developer's version in front of me, but as I said, I'm happy to continue working with the township manager and the board to see if there's any other avenues that we can assist.
And that developer's agreement is with the township or it's with the HOA?
Yes.
It's with the township, okay. Another question, the original bond, the performance bond, why can't you take money out of that and clean our roads?
Like I said, that's not something I'm prepared to discuss at a public meeting, but we can explore some options on the township side. I'm just, we're talking about potential litigation matter, both potentially the HOA against the developer, possibly the township against the developer, and it's not something we're talking about at a public meeting.
And this developer, it's Zakaitis Development, correct?
I can't remember what I think this one is a limited liability company,
It is.
but I believe Forensic ID is the
Frank
manager.
Zakaitis, okay, because I really wanted to get that name on the record as well. So anybody who might be listening and thinking about buying this new plan, understand you might be standing here like us in a year or two, because this is what goes on. We're looking forward to, I'm glad the bond is public record, because I thought that might be an issue. The other comment I would make is, the more he builds in this township and gets away with this kind of stuff, West Deer, does it become known as the Wild West for developers? I mean, there's a lot of development going on, so.
We're gonna look into things in the zoning ordinance too for the future.
Okay, all right, and so but the police will respond, right? The police and the emergency folks
Yes.
will respond to our neighborhood, and they do know where our homes are now. And our
You have to tell them Dana Drive, West Deer,
West
don't say
Deer,
Gibson.
okay. All right, okay. Okay, I hope you guys can, use your bully pulpit to get after this guy, because this isn't right. But thank you for all your help.
We are sympathetic to everything you guys want.
Thank you.
As far as emergency goes, I can't tell you without a doubt those addresses are in the county dispatch system.
Okay,
And one of the first questions they should be asking you when you dial 911 is what municipality you live in.
okay.
There is Dana courts in other municipalities, but Yeah,
And don't
that's
just say
the-
Gibsonia because that's a wide swath, say
Correct.
West Deer Township.
Correct, don't say Gibsonia, say West Deer.
Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Steve Brennan, Bakerstown, Colonial Road. For the executive session this afternoon, for items of litigation, the Commonwealth Court's now asserted that via Reading Eagle versus Council of the City of Reading, you're supposed to let us know the names of the parties in the litigation, the docket number, and the court in which it was filed. Can you give us that for,
I don't have that handy right now, but we'll have to, be happy to follow up with you.
can you follow up with everybody?
I won't be able to do that tonight,
Okay.
because I'm not sure, I guess I have all these people home.
I mean, could you share, you know some of it, you don't know the docket number probably, but.
I do not know the docket number. There are a couple matters that are involving insurance litigation. There are we also have a litigation that involves one of the fire companies. That's all I have for you right now.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Stephanie. I am from 419 Dogwood. I'm also part of our HOA association. Just wanted some clarity on being able, one, to get a copy of the bond. Do we know about how long that would take to be able to achieve that? That way we can deal with that as an association.
I believe if you contacted Mr. Nader, I imagine either informally or via email, I think he can make arrangements or have one of his staff provide that on short order.
Okay, and my next question would be, how, as a township, do we hold the developer accountable to make sure that the neighborhood does get completed in terms of stop signs and things like that? Is that something that whenever they purchase stop signs and things for the township, that they have to give you some type of receipt that that was purchased and made at a certain date?
So there's no receipt, and there's a couple of different things we're talking about here, and I think we covered it a little bit earlier, but there are the obligations of the developer to the HOA, and there are obligations of the developer to the township. Those are the ones that are secured by that performance bond, and what happens is once an improvement is completed, the developer will contact the township, Mr. Shoup or one of his colleagues will go out, inspect that particular improvement, and make a determination as to whether it's been built according to township specifications. Periodically, the developer will request portions of that performance bond to be reduced based on the amount of work that's been done, until ultimately the work is ideally, in a perfect world, and in most cases, the work gets completed, the performance bond gets released, and any public improvements are dedicated to the township, along with the maintenance bond.
So I know that a few things that they were waiting on is the purchase and placement of street signs and stop signs. So we were just wondering if there's anything, like any type of proof that we could see the date, about how long that takes to come in, things like that. That way, whenever we do try to get a hold and get in contact with the developer, we can kind of set deadlines and expectations from our end.
Yeah, that would be beyond our scope. That could be supply chain things like that. So we don't have a timeline. But I do know that I think Mr. Shoup has had some discussions with some of the development personnel out there, so maybe he has an update for us.
So one of the representatives of the developer told me a few days ago that they are in possession of the signs.
So they have the street
That's-
signs, but
that's
they
what
just
I'm-
need to place it. Now, weather pertaining, is that something that we're gonna have to wait till spring, or is there any holdup that would inhibit the developer from putting in their street signs?
I mean, obviously, temperatures that are bitter cold for the workers maybe, but other than that, I mean, it's just a matter of installing the posts, and then once the posts are up, the signs go on.
Okay, so they do have them in their position, they are ready to be installed.
That's what they informed me.
Are we waiting tomorrow?
Because I just wanted to reiterate that our neighborhood does have safety concerns in regards to first responders, but as well as the school bus stop. We just want to make sure that everything is safe for our neighborhood and that no accidents will happen. I did reach out to some of the dispatchers regarding our ability to get ambulances in our neighborhood, and they did clarify that as long as we discuss that we are from West Deer, that they should be able to find us accordingly. So thank you so much for helping us kind of get through that bump in the road that we unfortunately have to talk about. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Do we have any information on these bonds?
I mean, I think that sounds like one of the things that we'll be taking a look at after.
But I'm just asking, do we have any of that information now?
Mr. Shoup, do you know what the current balance is, or where we are roughly?
The performance security is not all that great, I mean, because virtually 95+% of the work is complete. And as you indicated, they're entitled to production as they go through. There's sufficient monies out there to cover the signs and the backfill and you know, those little odds and ends. But there's not a large chunk of money out there anymore.
But retainage and everything, there should be money to cover aspects of it, whatever.
The remaining performance issues, yes.
And there is, that is bonded?
It's a insurance bond, yes.
And so that the public realizes your concerns are so legitimate, and this board has had discussions regarding future development with this developer and how we can leverage our position to ensure there's more accountability and there's more oversight. So we have talked about that, like what are, as Chairman Hollowell said, like we're looking at what can we do because this shouldn't go on.
I drove through that community for an hour one day, just looking at things. Personally, I own a snow plowing company. I offered my services for free because I was sympathetic to you guys. So, I mean, we're trying to do everything we can do legally. We have rules we have to follow on what we're allowed to do when. This is not an everyday occurrence in Western Township.
Yes.
Is anybody in Wisconsin on the same topic? No? Okay. My name's Colin Higgins. I'm the chairman of Deer Creek Drainage Basin Authority. I just wanted to show my full support for Sue Pastura as a candidate for that role. She has over 30 years' experience working with engineers. She's a volunteer to this community. She's a steward to this community, and she's a huge asset to our board. So I really hope you guys give that consideration, and thank you for the time.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Good evening, how are you guys? Just a quick item I want to mention. Referencing item number 22 on the agenda about expanding the duties of Ms. Lucas. First, I want to thank everybody for the opportunity to talk for a minute. I just want to comment that we were a little concerned that we were adding looks like, if we understand correctly, 3 extra jobs to her agenda. And she's, only been here 2 weeks. Our concern is that, while she is highly qualified for the zoning job and the other jobs, and we don't dispute that at all, our concern is that we don't want to see her get overloaded, especially since it appears we may need the assistant manager portion of the job to be performed. For example, we're starting to notice that a number of things aren't happening in a very timely fashion as far as the website of things go. The videos of the supervisor meetings have been recorded since August. Only one's out there, none of the other ones have been put out. The supervisor meeting transcripts have been lagging behind also, and the live stream links aren't being posted until a few hours before the meeting, and that's hampering some of the people's ability to want to get in.
How many people were watching?
I can't tell you, I don't have any right now, but I know we've had several people ask about viewing the live streams after the meeting, and they're just not there. Quite thankfully, we still have Steve. And also the ordinances that were passed back in the summer just appeared in the 4360 was integrated into the new code about 2 weeks ago. And the one for the tax collector is over a year. So we're just asking you to consider if potentially, I have no idea if this is the case, overloading the new assistant managers in the best interest of the township and Ms. Lucas. So thank you very much.
Yeah, Roger.
Vicki Austin, Hemlock Street in Bayardford. I also wanted to speak to item 22, the appointment of zoning officer. When the assistant township manager position was publicly posted, it was not portrayed as assistant manager / zoning officer / building code official. This is no way intended to reflect on our assistant manager's abilities and knowledge, which are vast. Ms. Lucas is certainly absolutely qualified to serve as a zoning and building code official, but I question adding these additional duties to an already demanding position as an assistant township manager. Ms. Lucas has not resided or worked in West Deer, and even the most capable and ambitious employee will have a learning curve to familiarize themselves with the township, its workings, co-workers, and the community at large. It's a disservice to Ms. Lucas and to the township to assign her to what should be two separate positions. It's tough to do this right out of the gate, and I just feel that two positions are merited in this case. Thank you.
Very well. Anybody else?
Roger Wood with Library. Now, you guys know me, it's about third or fourth time I'm here about the water line. It's on, so is it going to be approved today, or? I mean, I saw the letter, the proposal with Teddy Gall. By the way, that's great. What we have. So what are we doing? Are we voting on that, or nobody's gonna say anything?
Until that agenda item comes up, I'm not sure the board doesn't know what's gonna happen until that discussion occurs.
All right, well, let's hope that you guys, he's offering to do it for free, right? I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So maybe we can get that going. Just want to mention, a couple things. Hopefully that's behind us. We can get that. Now we got to move on with the expansion and the renovation of the shelter. But just to cover a few things, I want to shout out to the volunteers, because some of these people probably don't even know. There's a hose running out, and it freezes in the winter. So there was many times where people had to go take gallons of water, go to your house, fill them up hot water. There's people out there with a heat gun trying to thaw out the line. So, I mean, this is something you shouldn't have to do. So I hope that gets resolved. Now, with the expansion and the renovation, is there a way that we could get that going today? Have somebody set up a committee, with maybe the new people, Bill and Vince, and, get a couple estimates for where the existing building is. Go to the planning commission, get drawings. Is that something we can do? I mean, is that possible? Things are happening, okay. All right, well, can we be transparent about that too? Because with the water line, it was just this slow roll. Nobody said anything. I brought it up a few times, everybody said, shh, don't say anything, So, are we gonna be able to know what's going on with this?
I'll comment on the water line. The water line has not froze yet this winter.
Yes, it does.
Hold on.
You were not there following
3
it up. Go ahead.
Can I finish?
Yeah.
Yesterday, they installed a heated water line to go all the way out there. It's gonna be impossible for that line to freeze at this
Yeah,
point.
because now.
We do appreciate Mr. Gall offering to do it for free.
They did that.
I also offered to do it for free, Mr. Simon offered.
Yeah.
We all
When did you offer to do it?
Last meeting, we weren't here.
I was here.
I said too, I said,
No, you did. I'll tell you.
That's a lot.
This is- okay.
I offered, listen, let me finish.
My turn.
Let me finish. So there's a heated water line there right now. It was installed, it was donated this week by CARE, and the water line was installed, so it is heated all the way through now. It's gonna be impossible for that line to freeze. We are gonna move forward with, when we figure out what's gonna go on with the location. I mean, that's the only thing holding us up right now is installing the water line. They also wanted to tear up the concrete pad, which we don't wanna do. So we're working every day.
Why don't we
we're-
want to do that?
There's a lot of reasons why we figured that would be a good parking area, and there's a lot of things underneath that people are unaware of.
Well, it's kind of hard for me to believe that, but what I would like is, can we put this on next month's agenda? Like, can we get a couple estimates? Say, get a committee together, go to the planning commission, and get some estimates to renovate and expand where it is, and maybe one wherever you think now where to put it. You know, I think it's behind the EMS building now, where we don't even own that property.
We've had one meeting with the architect already, we have another one scheduled, we're working on this every day. We're working with Barb to try to figure out everything where we can.
How long do you think it'll take you to get a couple estimates to renovate and expand the building where it is? I mean,
Roger,
what?
it's taxpayers' money. We gotta make sure.
We have a
everything's done.
$320,000.
I know we do. I
Maybe some of these
understand.
people don't know
There's
that.
rules.
Which it expires February 18th. It's been a year.
We haven't,
Oh.
and I believe we filed for an extension of that already.
Did you file?
Yes, I reached out to the county. What we're waiting on is certificates of insurance, updated certificates of insurance, but we have the letter, he's aware of it, we're good to go.
So by saying that, it's not like it's permission to slow roll it. You know, let's get it done so we're not here, you know, next winter. Hey, we got a water line, but we don't have a building or something like that. You know, let's just get it going. Why can't we just get together, get some estimates and do this and get it done, move forward?
So Roger, the water line's fixed. That's
No,
the heated-
it's not a water line.
The heated
It's a
hose.
heated hose.
Heated hose.
Is that water drinkable to go through that hose? Are you know for sure?
No.
Does it say on there, maybe, this is not drinkable water? I bet most houses do say
Well,
that.
the good news is, there is water there today. There was yesterday. When I talked to Barb, she said, we have water. It's coldest day of the year yesterday. We were up here walking around, checking that out, so there are things happening. We have the heated hose, right? So we got the water for the dogs, is what we all want. As far as the building itself, there are architecture meetings going on, there are blueprints being chatted about, so those things are happening.
But you are doing drawings for the expansion and renovation of the existing building.
The architect is doing both.
Doing both?
Yeah, yeah, so there are things happening.
Well, I mean, who knows?
Sure,
I don't
yeah,
care.
that's why
That's why I'm here, you know?
I'm sure that we're gonna.
We have met with Barb, she went over the plans with the architect, we have another meeting scheduled Monday, tomorrow. So
With Barb.
with Barb and the architects.
Now, I've talked to Barb, she said there's some issues with where it's, you know, expanding where it's at, there's a certain,
We're working through all the logistics, that's why we hired architects.
is there somebody else, another supervisor that could sit in on that meeting too? Okay, just so we know, I was thinking one of the two new ones, if you were.
I'm available, we've discussed it.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not trying to slow roll the dog
She
shelter.
did slow roll, you have to admit that too. This whole water line thing was slow roll. It's a year. You know, it's February when this grant was approved, and it's, you know, it's gonna be expiring in a month. And I know, yeah, you can extend it and so forth, but that's a slow roll. I mean, you can do things faster than that, right? I mean,
We just want to haphazardly throw something out.
I didn't say haphazardly. You guys get together, get people to know what they're doing, and get a plan together. That's all. Because, you know, I was here one time, well, it was like September, and I said, oh, you get somebody who knows what they're doing. They can dig that water line, put it in, it's easy. And, oh, no, that's real difficult, you know? It's not. This stuff isn't difficult. You just gotta do it, that's all.
Roger, I've heard you come up here, I've heard you say it. We are a board. We have to go through channels and what we have to do. It's taxpayers' money. It's not, if it's Roger Wood's money and he wants to throw it out there, we can do it.
So when it's
But
free,
Teddy
it's a
come out here and
taxpayer's
say he'll
money.
do it.
He's willing to do it for free.
I understand, that's great, that's fantastic.
Okay. But it's not taxpayers' money. He's doing it for free.
Just drive their legs more. That's what they're doing.
I don't understand.
If it's not a problem at this point and the water line's not froze, we're trying to be efficient in where we put it without disturbing all the different areas. If the dog shelter stays there, if it's moved somewhere else, we're just trying to be as efficient as we can.
Well,
Right now, there's no problem, the dogs have water, nothing's frozen.
You've done this for a year. Well, what's the speed of efficiency? Is it a year? Is it a couple months? Is it a month? Come on, guys. I mean, just get some stuff together, throw some stuff together, and get a plan going. And then if we can get this on the next meeting too, because I really think, you know, we could throw around a lot of numbers, we can get some plans, and we'll slow roll. Let's get it going.
Nobody's slow rolling anything. We're trying to do as fast as we can.
It's been a year,
Thank you, thank you.
a year later.
It's not, the water line is on the agenda for tonight, we're talking about that, but not the master plan, the development of the new location or anything like that. So should we wait? I want to talk about some of those issues. Should we wait until non-agenda items?
I'll defer to the chair. We sort of opened the door on that. Maybe you want to just have it now. Obviously, if it's now, it's not going to be there. That would be one thing I would say.
Well,
The water line's related, but I'll defer to the chair.
Well, the master plan, it all goes it's all gonna hinge on whether or not where we put the dog shelter. So at this point, we're waiting on the architecture firm to come up with some costs on both places.
In September, Mr. Fleming, Mr. Wigan, and Mr. Smallman said, why haven't you sent this to the planning commission? Why haven't we seen it before this? We've been, the planning commission has.
We have an architecture firm working on the prints right
We
now.
can work with the architectural firm. That's what we're trained to do.
They're working directly with Barb. There's really.
Barb can join in too. We're not talking about just the dog shelter, we're talking about the master plan for that entire site over there. We have Alan Banks on that committee. He's very expensive, and he's willing to donate his time for free. Why aren't you taking advantage of that? I'd like to see it come before the planning commission.
Thank you, Rick.
My name's Dominic Domino, 37 Fawn Street. I'm new to West Deer. I volunteered at the shelter. I think it's cool. You got a shelter, you got the school, you got the police department, tight-knit community. Met a lot of great people, a lot of good volunteers, people always stopping by to help. I was in a meeting over the summer about the water line. It's simple. What has a lot of us upset, how did it happen? You got a new building, you got permits, you got lawyers, you got insurance companies, architects, water got shut off. Everybody knew about it. There is still no water line. You got a hose, non-potable hose. You got it kept connected to the building, temporary, non-potable. It clearly says it on the side of that building. That line has froze. I have personally spent hours thawing that line. So now we got a heated hose, which is wonderful, temporary, but it's non-potable. I don't understand how something like this falls through the cracks, as simple as a water line, for something that is great for the community. It's a staple, you see it. You see the dog shelter, the school, the police department. Seems like a tight-knit community, so to me, it's unexcusable. Somebody wants to do it for free. I have volunteered my time. I've gotten other volunteers together to help whoever wants to run this line. I mean, I've been in construction all my life. It's simple, it's doable, and it's part of this community. And this just seems like an old-fashioned community with stuff that gives you that community feeling. That's all I wanted to say, but I hope it gets done. Thank you.
So I wanted, as a person who purchased the hose for $600, I could tell you it is drink water safe, it's for an RV, which is how we came up with the conclusion, because my husband's water freezes because he travels, and it was an easy solution. So to say that it's not safe for drinking is not an accurate statement. Any other issues, whatever, but that is not an accurate statement.
Thank you.
If I could, can I go one more time?
We don't have time for that. I appreciate it, truly I do, but the shelter is very important to me and the other volunteers. We are doing the best we can with the situation we have, but we're getting very, I guess, frustrated because nothing is really being done. We have been dealing with the architects who do not seem to be listening to us. We're having another meeting tomorrow, and I'm hoping they're seeing the truth of what we did, because the last 2 meetings we had with them were pretty non-productive. They tried to use the annex for an extension, and you can't, it's not big enough. They had put a spot there for our dog, the big dog that lives over there, that was 3 feet by 6 feet. This is not possible. This is a 65-pound dog, he can barely turn around in 3 feet. As far as the water situation, it has President's Waste this year. Thanks to Bev Jordan and her husband, we now have an electric hose in there that should stop that problem until we can get the water situation resolved. But it's a temporary solution. And the hose is just temporary. We need a permanent solution. I just want us to work together. I don't want any arguments. I just want cooperation, and I want the shelter to thrive. And that's what all of us volunteers want. We just want to take care of the shelter. We don't want to be involved in your politics, to be truthfully honest. We would far prefer to be with our dogs, who we know if they're going to bite us. We would just like to know, we just want to be with them. But we have to protect them also. My concern, and the other volunteers, we have talked this over ad nauseum, to be truthfully honest. And all we want is what's best for our dogs. Yes, I don't care about your building. I care about the dogs, and so does all the other volunteers. We are safe there. We've got the police here, we've got EMS there. We are right visible from the road where there's very unlikely of anything bad happening to any volunteer coming to volunteer. I just want safety for everybody. And I want the arguing to stop. That's all I want. Thanks,
Barb.
Anybody else?
My name's Jane, I live on Bakerstown, Commonsville Road. I love the community, but I'm so upset over the dog shelter situation. I just want to say, I don't know how you can sit here in this monstrosity and can't get water to dogs over here that need it. We pay taxes. Maybe some of us want our taxes to go there to help. I mean, maybe, it's a big concern for everyone, but it is for a lot of people. And I just think that, I can't believe that we have this eco-friendly $10 million thing, and you can't get water over to a shelter in a timely fashion. Her garage has been like that for years, even before all this. Nobody did anything, except Barb and whoever helps volunteer. So if there's anything that anybody could do, have a heart. Maybe you have pets. Would you want your pet like that living under there? Some of them are residents forever. So that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Do we have any preliminaries?
I think everybody is concerned about the dogs. This is why our township manager put in for the grant to begin with. He did get a grant for $20,000, so everybody's trying to work forward with the dogs, trust me.
Yeah.
All right.
Can we put that on the agenda for next month?
Yes.
Yeah.
Notice that we have some drawings and cost estimates.
We have a meeting with the architect again tomorrow. One of you guys would like to attend, I plan on being here as well. 10 a.m. Yep. I was here the last meeting too, trying to move things forward with Barb and the architect. She was trying to describe to the architects everything that she needed, and they were taking notes, so it's not as though they're not working diligently to try to give her everything on her wish list. All right, moving on. Minutes. Accept the minutes, attach the minutes of the regular business meeting of December 17th, 2025, and the reorganization meeting of January 5th, 2026. Are there any questions regarding the minutes? Do I have a motion to, any questions regarding the minutes?
You have a motion.
Second.
Okay. Second by, motion by Mr. Fleming, second by Mr. Wigan. You want to do a roll call vote on that? All right. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Financial report. That was the finance officer's report. Are there any questions regarding the monthly financial report? Do I have a motion to accept the financial report?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. McCrory, second by Mr. Fleming. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. List of bills. Are there any questions regarding the list of bills? Do I have a motion to pay the list of bills as submitted and all approved reimbursable items in compliance with generally accepted accounting practices?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Payne, second by Mr. McCrory. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Police chief's report. Attached is the police chief's report. Are there any questions regarding the police chief's report? Do I have a motion?
I make a motion.
Yeah, we don't need to know. We don't need to. Chief, anything else while we're here?
No, there's a couple others coming later.
Okay.
Back me.
All right.
I guess I would like to just say, it looks like you had an additional 400 calls this year. So you guys were increasing.
We are, yes.
Was that, did 2024 increase from 2023? Has it been steady growth then?
Yes.
Calls?
Public Works Foreman's report. Is there any questions? Public Works Foreman report.
So moved.
All right. Engineers report. Attached is the engineers report submitted by Chief Engineering Incorporated. Are there any questions regarding the engineers report? Scott, do you have anything else for us?
No, nothing to.
Okay. Planning, zoning, code enforcement report. Attached is the planning, zoning, and code enforcement report. Are there any questions regarding the planning, zoning, code enforcement report?
Just one on the salvage license. Are they, when are those due? Do we know? All right, thank you.
All right, Western Dog Shelter Annual Report. Attached is the Western Dog Shelter Annual Report. Are there any questions on the dog shelter report? Okay, attached is Western Volunteer Fire Company number 1. Are there any questions? Number 1. Okay, attached is Western number 2, Volunteer Fire Company report. Are there any questions regarding number 2?
What's a Class A uniform?
Attached is the West Deer Township number 3 report. Are there any questions? Okay, attached is the West Deer EMS report. Are there any questions regarding the EMS report?
Is Bill here?
No, Bill was not here tonight. He was unable to attend.
Just looking for an update on to their strategic plan with Foxborough EMS.
Okay. Bill's not here to answer that, though.
I didn't hear the question, maybe I can answer.
I said we were just looking for, last month you reported about a strategic partnership with Foxborough.
We're still working on it. We haven't had the second meeting yet.
Thank you.
Okay. Next is the 2026 Board Commission appointments. As of December 31st, 2025, there are vacancies on the Deer Creek Drainage Basin Authority, Planning Commission, Zoning Hearing Board, and Parks and Recreation Board. Deer Creek Drainage Basin Authority has one appointment. In 2025, West Township had 5 members, and Indiana Township had 4 members serve on the Deer Creek Drainage Basin Authority. In 2026, West Township will have 4 members, and Indiana Township will have 5 serve on the Deer Creek Drainage Basin Authority. One member's term expired on December 31st, 2025, Susan Pastora. The township received a resignation letter from Ronald Plesh. The board received 2 letters of interest from Susan Pastora and Jennifer Morrow to fulfill Mr. Plesh's remaining term set to expire on December 31st, 2027. Their letters of interest are attached. Do I have a motion to appoint?
I have a motion to appoint Susan Pastor as member of Deer Creek Drainage Basin Authority for Mr. Plesh's remaining term expiring December 31st, 2027.
Do I have a second?
I'll second the nomination.
Motion by Mr. Fleming, second by Mr. McCurry to accept Sue Pastor's letter of interest. All in favor?
Aye.
We're going to want to take a roll call vote on this one. Yep, opposed?
Opposed.
Mr. Fleming?
Yes.
Mr. McCurry?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
No.
Mr. Wigan?
No.
Mr. Holloway?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, the motion carries 3-2.
Okay. All right, Planning Commission, 2 appointments. 2 members' terms expired on December 31st, 2025. David Harrison, and Richard Holloway. Mr. Harrison and Mr. Holloway requested reappointment, and the board received 2 letters of interest from Ryan Becker and Jack Rearick. Their letters of interest are attached. Are there any questions regarding the Planning Commission appointments? Do I have a motion to reappoint or appoint?
I nominate Brian Becker and Dave Harrison to the Planning Commission.
I nominate.
Hold on. I think that we should handle these individually.
I mean, that is up to the board. I mean, obviously, if there's 3 votes to approve that motion, that's not going to be necessary. So I think since the motion was made, appointing both, it's appropriate to vote on that motion. But if it is if that doesn't pass, I think we're going to have to split them up to make sure that it's clear. If 3 people want to appoint that slate, for lack of a better term, then that's okay to do.
I'm sorry, what was our first motion?
So motion to appoint Mr. Becker and Mr. Harrison.
Made by Mr. McCurry.
And second by Mr. Fleming.
Second by Mr. Fleming. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
We're going to have to do a vote.
Mr. McCurry?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
No.
Mr. Wigan?
No.
Mr. Fleming?
Yes.
Mr. Holloway?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, the motion carries 3-2.
So I would ask moving forward that we handle appointments and anytime personnel are being accepted onto a board or something like that, that they be handled individually.
Correct.
I agree.
Maybe in the future we could separate.
This is what's odd. When we have them separate, the board asks can we consolidate them. So it happens all the time.
It's a new board.
If you go back through the minutes, you can see that happens regularly.
Well, just for an example, we hired 2 police officers in one motion. I think that puts a burden on the supervisors if they support one and not the other to vote no entirely. I think that anytime there's a decision to be made on an individual, it'll be handled.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Mr. Wigan. What I'm saying is, it flip-flops every time. So all I do is I go by the last past practice. And if you go back to the last set of minutes when we appointed people, they were separate motions, and I was asked, hey, can we just consolidate these in the future because instead of appointing everybody individually?
Were there only reappointed, and two that,
I don't recall.
because there was four, then we need to appoint two.
It's excruciatingly hard. Painful.
Okay, Dennis, the next, moving forward, we'll try to separate them again, keep jumping back and forth. All right, zoning hearing board, 2 appointments, three members, terms expire in
I'm sorry,
December.
Mr. Hallwell, like, you said next time separate them?
Well, we'll have to take a vote on that. Zoning hearing board, 2 appointments, 3 members, terms expired on December 31st, 2025, Scott Woolzak, Shea Kraft, and Chad Dolby. Mr. Woolzak and Mr. Dolby requested reappointment. The township did not receive any letters of interest. Are there any questions regarding the zoning hearing board appointments? And do I have a motion to reappoint Mr. Woolzak and Mr. Dolby as members of the zoning hearing board for the 5-year term set to expire December 31st, 2030?
Is that a motion?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Fleming, second by Mr. McCurry. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Opposed?
No, I would like to make a point of interest that we now have an additional zoning hearing board member that we need, because Mr. Becker was on the zoning hearing board, and we appointed him to the planning commission. So now we have 2 vacant spots on the zoning hearing board.
We had no other letters of interest from, okay. All right, next up is the acceptance of the resignation part-time police officer. Parks and Rec, I'm sorry. All right, 1 member's term expired on December 31st, 2025, Amy Stark. Mrs. Stark requested reappointment. The township received a resignation letter from Jeannie Hoffman, and her term is set to expire on December 31st, 2029. 2 members' terms are still vacant and need filled. Those terms are set to expire December 31st, 2029. The township received 3 letters of interest from Kelly Carroll, Beverly Jordan, and Kimberly Lincolnheimer. Are there any questions regarding the Parks and Recreation Board appointments? And do I have a motion to reappoint Mrs. Stark as a member of the Parks and Recreation Board for 5-year term set to December 31st, 2030?
Make a motion to reappoint Mrs. Stark.
Motion by Mr. Wiggin, second by
I'll second.
Mr. Payne. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Myself, yes. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Do I have a motion to appoint Kelly Carroll, Beverly Jordan, and Kimberly Lincolnheimer as members of the Parks and Recreation Board to fill current vacant 5-year terms set to expire December 31st, 2029?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Payne, second by Mr. Fleming.
Question, are they all set to expire December
Yes.
31st, 2029?
Yes. 2029. Motion by Mr. Payne, second by Mr. Fleming. All in favor?
Aye.
Myself, aye. With opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Okay, the board received a memo from Chief Loper stating that acceptance resignation letter part-time police officer. The board received a memo from Chief Loper stating that he was in receipt of a letter from Officer Shane Zappi indicating that he would be resigning immediately. Are there any questions regarding the resignation of the part-time police officer? And do I have a motion to accept the resignation letter at this time from Officer Shane Zappi and wish him the best of luck?
Make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Wiggin, second by Mr. Payne, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Myself, aye, opposed, motion carries. Adoption of ordinance number 463, roadway adoption, Oakwood Heights. An ordinance of the Board of Supervisors of the Township of West Erie, County of Allegheny, County of Allegheny, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, accepting Ashley Road, Dana Drive, and Dogwood Court in the Oakwood Heights 2 plan as public roads and updating the official list of township roads accordingly. The ordinance is attached. Are there any questions regarding the ordinance? And do I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 463, accepting roadways within Oakwood Heights 2 plan as presented?
Mr. Chairman, I'm recommending that the board not make that motion or accept the roads at this time until the improvements are completed and the maintenance bond is provided by the developer. I think in lieu of the acceptance of the streets, there's a subsequent item on the agenda that would allow the board to approve a winter maintenance agreement to make sure the services are provided to the development.
Mr. Rob, you're going to recommend the board table this motion, correct?
I don't think it will be a motion, so I don't need to table. I'm saying no one should make a motion.
Does that affect the advertising of the ordinance?
We're gonna have to re-advertise it whenever it's time to adopt it.
Okay, but if they table it, they won't have to re-advertise?
They will.
They would, okay.
So what is the impact of the table? What does that mean for the residents?
Tabling or not making a motion, essentially, it's the same impact, but what it said, there will be a contractual agreement between the HOA and the township, or the management company, I can't recall which, whereby the township DPW's crew will take care of winter maintenance for a fee covering the cost, and I believe it's based on linear feet of road, if I'm not mistaken.
So by tabling it, we're delaying that.
That's right.
Agreement.
We're still entering into the winter maintenance.
So we're still going to, okay, I just wanted to be clear that
Right,
the roads are going to be done.
Yeah, but the ultimate takeaway is there will be winter maintenance, but it will not be a township road until such time as we can work out these details on the last set
Hopefully
of
the bus
agreements.
doesn't have an accident.
Yeah, but it's not, our hands are tied with that.
I understand.
And the maintenance agreement is fairly inexpensive compared to what you're paying
I
now.
appreciate it. Okay.
Yeah, we're doing everything we can. Our hands are tied legally, so. You do have an attorney on your board too, by the way.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's none done, nothing.
You can help. All right, resolution of the Board of Supervisors of the Township of West Deer confirming that the acquisition and subsequent disposition of a parcel of vacant property known as lot and block number 1669F33 is in accordance with the comprehensive plan of the municipality attached to the copy of the resolution number 2026-01. Are there any questions regarding the resolution? And do I have a motion to adopt resolution number 2026-01, confirming that the acquisition and subsequent disposition of a parcel of vacant property known as lot block number 1669F33 is in accordance with the comprehensive plan and the municipality?
So moved, if nobody has questions.
Second.
Question. So does that make his lot one larger lot, or do they remain two lots?
They remain two lots. You could consolidate though, if you give me the subdivision requirements.
Do I have a motion?
You already did.
Motion by Mr. Payne, second by Mr. Curry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, the approval of 2026 road program. The board is in receipt of the 5-year road program from the township engineer. The township engineer and township manager are requesting the board to reevaluate the 2026 candidate roads. Mr. Shoup, are there any questions regarding the 2026 program?
So, again, this plan was developed a few years ago, but for 2026, there's currently on the list 3 streets, being Blanchard Road, Hemphill Road, and Monier Road, from Kaufman Road out to Bakerstown and Colemanville. And 2 of those streets in particular, Mr. Mader and I were discussing them, and I think we'd like to maybe get some board input.
Thank
Get some board input. First regarding Hemphill Road, and Mr. Mader's more fluid and knows the history better than me, but apparently there's a private water line on that road that is creating issues relative to possibly doing paving work on that road. And then secondly, Monier Road, given the possible development that's been talked about, even earlier tonight. So, again, I'd like to get these bids out so that you can have them open in March. But I don't want to go putting these roads up for bid and then find the board has different thoughts and feelings towards these three streets. Is there anything you can add, Mr. Mayor, regarding that bill?
Yeah, on Hemp Hill, the other issue is that every time this comes up to be on the road program list, residents of Hemp Hill reach out to me and say they don't want it paved because it's a shortcut and in its current condition, it slows people down. You hear that a lot from people. And they feel it's like it is paved, it'll become basically a raceway.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, Mr. Shoup, you mentioned about Monier with the development.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Potential development.
with the potential development, I mean, we can obviously upgrade it, and if a development occurs, you know, it would use the new roadway. If you, for some reason, think you'd like to delay that road for a year or two or three, you know, that could be an option as well. So, and I know I'm spraying this all on you tonight, but, I don't know, if there's any thoughts that just sharing in.
So what was originally budgeted? Was it cold mix or a hot
No, it
mix?
was hot mix.
So making it wider, was that part of the plan?
I had some in there. I was actually looking at it the other day, and I'd like to add some more, but I think I had accounted for like 2,000 feet of widening on that road, but it's obviously much longer than that. So that 647 doesn't close and widen.
And they did dirt drainage work on that road already?
The township has, yes.
Okay, so the township already has all the drainage work done on it?
Yes.
What if they widen additional portions, do they have to redo that drainage?
No, we can work around it.
Mr. Shoup, you mentioned 2027 roads when we discussed, I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, another option perhaps, just what we want to consider, switching 2026 and 2027. The 2027 roads, for the most part, consisted of all of the streets down in
Curtisville number 2.
Curtisville 2, I was gonna say Watkins, Curtisville 2. I call it the street, the tree street plan. It's all the street down there, trees. In addition to that, there's also the seal coating work proposed on Shepherd, McIntyre, and Glennon. Those are roads that were paved years ago, and would like to preserve the integrity of that investment that you made in there by doing seal coat work on this. So, I mean, that might be one option if the board would want to consider that. Or if you wanted, another option, if you still want to do Monier Road and we wanted to drop out Hemp Hill, I could do the seal coat work that would have been done in 2027, move that up in place of Hemp Hill. So put you right around your budget total.
Would, for, is there any roads in the 2026 that are absolutely in dire need? And I know Hemp Hill is a tough road and it's in need, I've traveled it. But there are, waterline issues. My concern would be doing that before we figure out what the waterline, if there's anything that the residents can do or we can do or whatever after discussion about that water line. And then obviously if there is the housing development that it goes through on Monair, that then would be the time to address any, concerns in the future. But is there anything we in need of touching for the 2026 program?
I don't believe so.
That last question, the seal coat in the 2027, was that that was ones that we did, Glendenning, we did cold mix on it before.
They were all cold mix.
Cold mix?
And when I say McIntyre, I'm not talking the entirety of McIntyre. I'm basically talking the County Bridge McIntyre.
How is the cold mix holding up?
All three streets are holding up fairly well, but you can tell it's starting to show its age a little bit. And obviously, I hate to call a seal coat a Band-Aid, but the quicker you get the Band-Aid on it, the longer you can preserve that road.
Okay, so my opinion as far as the McIntyre, I understand you're talking about the other things. And we just did some mandates to the front part, and if that road is falling apart, I think that we need to, if we're, have room in our budget to move that up at least, you know, maybe to the county bridge.
I mean, you're talking from the Richland line to the county bridge. I mean, that's penciled in for 2029, but that's about a 300. Okay, that's about a $300,000 piece of road. So if that was a priority, you could definitely move that up. You know,
By itself.
yeah.
Are there any additional thoughts on bumping the 2026 if it's not absolutely necessary? To figure out some of those issues and go to the 2027 and possibly looking at that section of McIntyre Road to see if it takes a jump in line per the engineer's recommendation.
Scott, how long ago did you put this list together?
Well, the last two roads have not been on here for long, but this 2026 list probably goes back 5 years.
So it's been 5 years since you
It's just worked its way up.
Good look at all of the township roads and.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what was the question?
It's 5 years since you've taken a look at all of the township roads and kind of graded them?
No, because actually the 2029 and 2030 improvement list were just added. So those were the ones I felt which were next most important in line.
Nobody has any questions, I'd say make a motion to adjust the 2026 road program to include 2027 roads as discussed per the engineer's recommendation while fitting within our budget. Does that make sense?
Second.
Second, anybody?
Just a question, so then we're pushing the 26th to the 27th, just to be clear? So we're pushing it on your back, is that what we're saying? Just on you two?
Yeah.
Monier needs done. I think the whole question is, do you want to do Monier and then have a potential development with all that heavy equipment?
Right.
Anybody second that motion?
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Payne, second by Mr. McCurry.
So,
All in favor?
does that include the double seal coated roads?
Not if you're gonna move up McIntyre, correct?
It's not a big effort on my part. If you would like, I can bid Curtisville 1, that's gonna be a month. I can bid a second contract, which is the seal coat work, and I can bid a third contract. Or an add-on alternate, which would be McIntyre. That way you will have the option of considering all of them.
Should we wait on this?
I mean, I think it's more important that when you actually approve the bidding contract, not so much. I mean, if there's a meeting of the minds here as to what you want Scott to do to put out the bid, then as long as you guys understand what you're talking about.
As long as it falls within our budget.
Yeah, that's ultimately it.
The dollar amount is what we have to look at, what we're doing for the dollar amount. So obviously, like you've done before, Scott, we're moving around. But to keep the 26 where it needs to be in budget, we need to do what we should do.
Yeah, and the ad alternates, you know this, Mr. Fleming, the ad alternates give you that flexibility.
Yeah, like before.
So as long as Mr. Mater is able to take that motion down and he understands what you're saying, and Mr. Shoup understands what his direction is, I'm all for it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, the township manager has recommended the planning and zoning department be organized under assistant township manager Amanda Lucas, and is advising Mrs. Lucas to be appointed the zoning officer and building code official as per the township code. Are there any questions regarding the appointment of the zoning officer and the building code official? And do I have a motion to appoint Amanda Lucas as the township zoning officer and building code official?
I motion.
Motion by Mr. Payne, second by Mr. Fleming, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Authorization, advertisement, conditional use. That's right. Okay. All right, authorization, advertisement, conditional use hearing, advertisement for Pittsburgh National Golf Club. The applicant is requesting a conditional use application in the R1 rural residential, R2 semi-suburban residential zoning districts. Are there any questions regarding the advertisement of the Pittsburgh National Golf Club? At this time, the board will need to set a public hearing. And do I have a motion to set the public hearing for Pittsburgh National Golf Club, February 18th, 2026 at 6 p.m.?
So let me jump in. If I could, Mr. if you don't mind, it's up to you. All right. So I will jump in here. So as had been referenced by the applicant in tonight's public hearing, they do have an alternate plan that they have submitted to Township to do essentially the same PRD and same location without requesting any of the waivers that were presented today. And the timing of that would normally require us to have the public hearing on that second version essentially the same night that we've already continued the first version to. So we did get, knowing that this was a possibility going in, we did get a written extension from the applicant to, at least for now, gives us till the March 18th meeting. So my recommendation to the board is to, at least for now, set that hearing for March 18th at 6 p.m. And I would not be surprised if that gets pushed back again, depending on how things go with the first version at the February 18th meeting.
So we still have a motion to accept the February 18th.
March 18th. So I'm asking the board to schedule March 18th for the Pittsburgh National Golf Club Part 2 or Version 2.
Before we schedule them, getting feedback on the first one.
Correct. I mean, we have to do that not just to meet the state law notice requirements and hearing timing requirements, but I do think this is probably just going to be a temporary thing. It'll probably get pushed back further because I would not be surprised if the applicant wanted to see if they got approved the first time before they go through and take another swing at it. But technically, we just have to make sure we're meeting those deadlines. And right now, the deadline would be to set this hearing on the second version for March 18th at 6 p.m.
Before we hear about number 2. All right.
Well, this is for number 2. Yeah.
March is for number 2.
Right.
February is for number 1, what we did today, the continuation of today.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes.
So when do we have to decide on the first one?
So it depends on when the hearing closes. So if the hearing closes on February 18th, let's assume that all these folks have an opportunity, not these folks, all the folks that were here earlier have an opportunity to speak, maybe some of these folks. Then it will be 45 days by law, we would need to issue a written decision, findings of fact, conclusions of law. That can be extended by agreement of the applicant. So what we normally do in these situations, because there is a significant record, and there's a lot of testimony, evidence, exhibits, we usually ask for an extension to give us a full 2-month meeting cycle so that we can review the record, you can direct me as to how you want the decision written, and then it would be approved in theory at the, let's say it finishes in March, we would probably ask for an extension until the April meeting to allow it finishes in February, we'd ask for an extension until the April meeting to issue a decision on the first one.
So version 2 is going to the planning commission this month?
February.
February.
It was originally going to have to go this month because of the time frame, but because of the extension, version 2 will be reviewed by the planning commission on the fourth Thursday of February. All that said, I'm asking for a motion to schedule a public hearing March 18th at 6 p.m., even if it's just as a placeholder for now.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Payne, second by Mr. Fleming, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. All right, the board received the hiring of part-time police officers. The board received a memorandum from Chief Loper recommending the hiring of Bruce Williams to the position of part-time police officer. Satisfactory background checks were performed on the candidate. Are there any questions regarding the hiring of this candidate? Do I have a motion to hire Bruce Williams as part-time police officer of Western Township?
Chief, do you want to say something first?
Just that, speaking with Mr. Williams, he's looking basically, he's a retired officer from the city of Pittsburgh. He comes with an extensive background that can help with our department, even guiding some of our younger officers. He's been in 30-plus years experience with the city.
Here tonight?
He's not here tonight, he's unable to come. He's primarily looking for a role to help us out within the school district. Be one of our officers that works primarily in the school district, which is something we really need.
Sure.
So.
All right, do we have a motion?
I have a motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Fleming, second by Mr. Williams. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Chief.
Thank you.
Authorization of Oakwood Heights 2 water maintenance agreement. Winter maintenance.
Winter, not water.
I need glasses, my wife tells me that, and I can find it. Attached to the winter maintenance agreement between Western Township and Oakwood Heights 2 and Acre. Are there any questions regarding the winter maintenance agreement? Do I have a motion to accept the Oakwood Heights 2 winter maintenance agreement and authorizing the township manager to sign the agreement as presented?
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Williams, second by Mr. Drury. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Dan, when would that take effect?
Yeah.
Immediately? Okay, good.
Before Sunday.
Before Sunday.
Before Sunday.
Approval of township manager's employment agreement revised. As per the direction of the board, Labor Council drafted a revised employment agreement with current township manager Daniel Mayer. Do I have a motion to approve the revised employment agreement with township manager Daniel Mayer as presented, effective immediately, and to authorize its execution by the chairperson of the board of supervisors?
I give the motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Fleming, second by Mr. Drury. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Authorization of Western Stormwater Operation and Maintenance Agreement. Attached is the Western Stormwater Operation and Maintenance Agreement. Mr. Shute, are there any questions regarding the Western Stormwater Operation and Maintenance Agreement? And do I have a motion to accept?
Just real quickly, this is an agreement actually between Westier Township and Westier Township. Very unusual, but in this case, since you own this building, you developed the stormwater system in conjunction with this building and property. There needs to be an agreement on file regarding long-term operation and maintenance. In effect, all that it's going to do is, if at some point in the future, probably the very far future, this building and property is sold to someone else, those same obligations. This is a requirement that has to be, this agreement needs to be approved and recorded as part of your permit with the DEP.
Okay, do I have a motion? Motion by Mr. Williams, second by Mr. Fleming. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the authorization of Western Dog Shelter Waterline proposal. Attached is the proposal from Mr. Theodore Gall of TA Gall Incorporated to remove the concrete slab at the location of the former municipal building and to install 3/4 inch piping connecting the water line from the meters to the connector to the dog shelter. Mr. Gall is offering this proposal at no cost to the township. Mr. Gall provided court certificates of liability insurance. Are there any questions regarding the water line proposal? And do I have a motion to authorize the acceptance of Mr. Gall's proposal as presented?
Did you hear? His son's. Can you come up and answer some questions?
Sure.
Oh, yes.
I'm not a son, I'm an employee, but I can try to answer some questions for you.
Yeah, I think we all have some questions.
Yeah, I just want to see his proposal, what he's doing. He's talking about going through the concrete hammer and nail the concrete out. What would it take to go around the concrete? Basically going down on the other end there, finding the lines and bringing the steps around all the way around the concrete area.
We don't want to go through the concrete.
So would that be through the asphalt area?
Might be, I'm not, I gotta look at that side on this side. It doesn't matter either side, you know what I mean? If you go through the old asphalt on that side, if you probably a little easier, but this side, the new asphalt, I don't know if you can get between.
I mean, I can't answer that as far as what he wants to do on his end, but I think what he was thinking was the concrete was supposed to be removed when the building was demolished.
That is correct.
So I think he was just kind of going with the original plan, you know what I mean?
You saved that concrete for a reason, though, we figured that'd be good for parking, we'd like to go around it. Maybe we could have a.
And it's actually a little trickier.
Yeah, there's a reason behind it too.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can't answer that for sure, you know, I think his
Well,
original plan
here's what I
was.
would like the board to do is, if Teddy can get a hold of Johnny or myself, we talk to him, see about going around that way and doing what he can. And we're gonna work something out with Teddy. I appreciate
Table this until we have a meeting?
Well, I'd like to get it done, so if you can get Teddy to get a hold of.
Maybe we can approve it pending a meeting with Mr. Goff.
Yeah,
We could all
agreed,
get together
we just
for
need
next
to make
meeting.
it agree. And I don't expect him to do it
I'll take care of the
for free,
asphalt
you know what I mean? And Jim, just what you say, Jim?
I said, I'll take care of the asphalt repairs.
There you go. Working, everybody work together, get it done.
Yep.
All right?
Any other questions?
No.
Okay, thank you.
His proposal was to remove the concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's for free.
Well, I think it looks like hell over there, to be honest.
Well, you can mill it down, you can pave it later, you can do a lot of
Well,
things. Remember, that concrete's thicker than what you think,
We were
that's why that
supposed to
guy.
pave it last year.
Huh?
We were supposed to pave it last year.
Well, the concrete in a lot of the spots is higher than the actual asphalt that's around it.
On the police side?
Yeah.
I think it could still be fixed, and that could be fixed, I'm sure, with the two top.
You're gonna have a hell of a bill if you say knock that concrete out.
Yeah.
I mean,
What?
huh?
What?
You would have a heck of a bill knocking that concrete, hammering that concrete.
Part of our proposal is to remove the concrete.
Yeah, there's a lot more to that.
There's a lot more, he
Than
doesn't
you realize.
he doesn't know what's in it.
Yeah.
And I don't wanna see him get hurt, there's no way, it ain't gonna happen.
So maybe we, somebody want to make a motion to approve this with the meeting, so we could all come together and agree on where the line's gonna be located, not going through the concrete.
Yeah. I mean,
Somebody like to make that motion?
What's the plan moving forward? Like, the road budget's up in the air. We talked about leaving that over there, even though I agree with Bill, it's higher than the parking lot is now, so it's gonna need to be ground down if we're just gonna pave over top of it. You know, the original plan was to tear it all out, backfill it with dirt and plant grass until a future plan was developed. I personally think it looks like heck over there, that's not what I mentioned whenever we approved the building demolition.
I think with a little bit of asphalt on top of that, that would be very useful for parking.
It was bid to be taken out, but it didn't get taken out, he wanted an extra to take it out because he saw how thick it was. And we didn't force that to happen.
How thick is it, Jeff?
There's actually dowels in there, it was an old garage, so there's different thicknesses of the asphalt, or the concrete in there, some 18 inches.
The grease pit could be 8 feet deep. We talked to some old timers that were around when they said that building was up. They said the grease pit could be 8 feet deep with concrete walls on
We
there.
buried a grease pit.
They buried a grease pit, a lot of things.
They call it a grease pit. Yeah, it's always kind of.
But I appreciate what Teddy said, that's not.
We're just trying to eliminate.
I don't want to take that chance to go in there. We already had a guy that was supposed to do it by bid.
Correct.
And we let him out because he kind of proved what he had. He didn't know it was there.
So was there documentation on how thick it was, or we just, I know that you talked to some, old timers that said that, but, I mean. like-
So we'd just like to go around, and for the extra 20 feet of plastic pipe to go around it, I think it'd be wise to just plan to go around it for now.
So my issue and concern is, number one, it's a safety issue the way that concrete is right now. Number two, we need to get water to the dog shelter. The gentleman is proposing to remove the concrete, backfill it so that we can have a safe area and have water to the dog shelter, because we don't have an alternative.
I think we
plan.
could discuss the removal of the concrete at a later date. I think the main priority is let's get water to the dog shelter. Yeah. We'll talk about the concrete at a later date. I think we should all have a meeting on that.
Well, for every day that it sits over there like that, it's open to holding water and somebody falling and tripping in it. I honestly don't think you're gonna get more than 6 parking spots by paving the outline of that old building.
I disagree.
We haven't had an engineer look at it, so I mean,
Why are we fighting that? Teddy wants to put the water line in, we're just asking him to not go in the concrete, go around, it's easier for him to do. We have Jim Smullen who just said he'll pave it. So what are we arguing about? Let's get them going, let's get it on and do what we
well,
gotta
they're
do.
trying to kill 2 birds with one stone. We have a problem, a safety issue with the concrete as it is right now.
What's your safety issue?
The open block, all the walls that are sticking out through the concrete. That's all open. They cut the conduit even with the concrete, but
Jim, when you're up here to look at the asphalt that they're gonna have to go through, would you look at the pad too for us and see what you could do to?
Now, my only concern, following up with how easy it is, trying to go through asphalt in a trench so we don't disturb 15 feet of it isn't exactly easier than if we pull the concrete out and dig in the dirt.
You're gonna go through the asphalt anyway.
At the end,
Yeah.
correct? Not around the concrete though.
Well, there wouldn't be any asphalt around the concrete, that's all dirt.
Oh, there's dirt around the concrete?
Yes.
I thought he had mentioned there's asphalt on both sides.
I don't know how close it is to the concrete.
Okay.
And that's why I said we could go on one side or the other, just more or less, you're in the middle of the concrete pad down there where the old building was, grab it there and come this way or that way.
We need to have a meeting.
So, if we, question for you, what's your first name? I'm sorry.
Robert, yeah.
Robert, if tonight we approve doing this, pending the meeting to work out the details, what do you think is the quickest that you guys can get it done? Because we want to get that water to the dogs.
I mean, we can do it pretty quick. That's one of the reasons why he offered it. It's our downtime of year, so I think we do have time available as soon as we make a decision.
So they can be reviewed in the next several days, this thing could be done in a week or 2.
Correct, yeah. I mean, it should only take 2 days, maybe 3 days to do the line.
Agreed, we just gotta get Teddy to make sure which way we're going.
We don't wanna get him involved in something that he's unaware of as well.
And with the pending weather forecast, that's why we're so grateful that we got the heated hose for the next several weeks at least, so that it takes care of that in the interim, so.
Okay.
All right, so you need a motion, just to basically meet with Teddy,
Right.
discuss going around the concrete, not through the concrete, with PEX line at a certain elevation.
Yep. Let's add a no cost to the township, so it's clear that we're, no matter what deal you swing.
I'm not gonna say that because I think we should.
well, I'll go one step further because when we let the other contractor out of the removing of the concrete, he gave back $3,000. I mean, we could use that $3,000 to pay for the materials for the water line.
I think that's a great idea, as long as everybody agrees with that, and Daniel, we can do that.
I don't think the materials could be $3,000.
No, it's not, but I mean, if we want sand or whatever around it, we can get it.
I make a motion to accept Teddy's proposal to remove the concrete and add the water line.
Second.
So,
Motion by Mr. Wiggins, second by Mr. Payne, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
no,
Aye. Roll call?
Mr. Fleming,
no,
Mr. McCurry,
No.
Mr. Payne,
Yes.
Mr. Wiggins,
Yes.
Mr. Holloway.
No.
Mr. Chairman, motion.
What is the plan?
So we're gonna make the second motion, which is to meet with
Mr.
Mr.
Gall,
Gall to devise a plan
to go around
to
the
go around the
concrete
concrete
and
and,
install the water line into the ground.
there you go.
The guy's offered to do it for free, you can't throw him into the lines, that he has no idea what's really involved in underneath there.
No way.
That's a motion by Mr. McCrory.
Can I just ask, so if there's gonna be, the only thing that concerns me, because this is it's a little loose, if there's gonna be an expenditure of township funds, I think you should at least put a not to exceed amount in that motion.
Not to exceed 100,000.
That's some water line.
Not to exceed the 3,000, whatever was left over in the contract. Does that work, Daniel?
That was a good idea, Tom.
Sorry,
The 3,000 that's left over?
not to exceed 3,000, yeah, so basically the motion would be, do I have a motion to authorize the acceptance of Mr. Gall's proposal as presenting, having a meeting between township officials and Mr. Gall at a cost not to exceed $3,000?
And not ripping up the concrete pad.
Yeah, so it's not as presented. I think it's probably more a motion to authorize engagement with Mr. Gall to explore alternate avenues for addressing the water line issue. The installation of a water line not to exceed $3,000.
Maybe in that meeting, we could include Mr. Smallman so he could take a look at some things with us as well. Thanks, Jim.
So what's the plan for the call?
It seems like right now, their plan is to meet with Teddy and see what's going on, but.
Get the
they're
water
under the
line in
impression
and
that they need concrete. And Mr. Smallin's gonna be there to see if there's any outlying issues in his opinion that he thinks it should be removed or should stay. And
Well, we'd like to see what he could do to pave over top on it, so we can use some parking spots over there, so it'd be safe.
Oh, I'm against that.
Would you look at,
Let's look at it and see, because I'm
Yeah.
not going to look at it, let's take a look and, but I think getting water line in, you know.
yeah, yeah, but while you're there looking at the pavement, there might be disturbed by the water line, you can take a look at the
I don't think
pavement.
maybe you realize, I don't even know if he was talking about taking the whole thing, or just cutting in to get to the tap.
Yeah, I just talked about the whole
You know, you can't ask him to do that, that's not right.
Well, we left the other contractor out of it, and now we're left with this eyesore over there that's a safety issue. Like, if we're gonna pave it, pave it. Safety issue.
Yeah, maybe you can take a look at paving the concrete, give us a price at least.
What's that?
Maybe you can take a look at the concrete pad.
We have a motion by Mr. McCrory, second by Mr. Fleming. All in favor?
Concerned about safety.
Aye. Aye. Opposed?
Opposed.
Roll call.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you to take a step back. Who made the motion?
I did, kind of.
Mr. McCrory, Mr. Fleming, the second.
Okay, Mr. Fleming,
Yes.
Mr. McCurry,
Yes.
Mr. Payne,
I just want the water line in. Yes.
Mr. Wigan,
No.
Mr. Hallwell.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, the motion carries 4-1.
And I think the key is we want to try to have that done within a week or two, right?
Yeah, if somebody could get a, you can let them know to get hold of us as soon as you can. You can meet them anytime. All right, new business for future discussion.
Well, speaking of construction, I think we were all notified this week by the Deer Lakes Youth Baseball Group about the concession stand. I talked with Dan and he told me to bring this up now. With regard to, you know, they don't have electricity to their concession stands, so they can't do their fundraiser like they hope to do it. And so they're hoping for some relief or some, I think, Dan, you had talked about it, somewhere in the $7,000 range to have the electricity done.
Yeah, it was right around 8,000 for the proposal we received, but we could also put that up to bid, shop it around.
So I wanted to at least, because they're looking, I mean, their season is 2+ months away. They want to know what's the status, even though you've told them what the status is, and what the plan is.
They have 110, correct? And the only thing they're looking for is for the fryers or?
Yeah, for the second, they need a second line to get, I believe, the 240. And 220.
That's gonna be eliminated soon.
That's the issue. We just applied for, the board authorized HHSDR, the architects, to design a new concession stand. We've done that, we applied for a grant. I threw together the app together rather quickly, so I don't know if we're gonna get the grant or not, but if we do, the question is, and I said this to Deer Lakes Youth Baseball, why are you gonna put $7,000 or $8,000 towards the line when it's only gonna generate a couple $1,000 possibly in fire foods? And, you know, Mr. McCurry and I were joking about it. At that point, it'd be better just to make a flat donation to the baseball association.
How about a generator?
There's a lot of other options too, but they're questioning, they want that electric line replaced. And as I've mentioned in the past, if you're going, that building, if this new concession stand comes to fruition, which it should, because it's part of our park master
So we're a
plan.
year out?
Possibly, it could be done, it could be started this year, we haven't.
We're not gonna find out until the grant, until September.
Right, but it could technically be in this year, because we have the plans basically, not plans, we have the architecture.
Don't play baseball in the winter.
Right, but at the same time, like,
It would be more cost prohibitive to run the generator for them instead of fixing that line.
there's a lot of different options, that's what we're saying,
Help
so.
them out.
To just say, let's spend $8,000 running electric to a building that's gonna become a shed in a year, literally, a shed for the public works equipment.
Could we get an estimate on the generator, what would cost to rent them the generator for the season?
Yeah, we can find out.
Can we get the specs on what's needed for the electrical, so we can reach out to a couple different electricians and see maybe if, you know, somebody can donate something, you know, there might be an electrician that actually is baseball, we just have to cover materials or something, and maybe it's, you know, $3,000 or $4,000, and then everybody wins.
Right.
So again, this project has been, or this issue has been around for a year now. I mean, we talked about replacing the concession stand, but honestly, you're probably 2 years away from that. Both lines that run to that building are not in conduit. So if you replace the broken line now and put it in conduit, then you can run everything off of that one line whenever you make it a shed and abandon the other line.
I don't think you need it for the shed, you don't need 220 for
You
that.
won't, you're gonna abandon the first one.
Well, I think a lot of those lines were put in a long time ago, and I don't think we have very good as-built on where those lines are. But I guarantee you, I put in some of those lines. Long,
So
long
you're to
time.
blame?
Yeah.
You've been on the board for a year, Josh, so you're to blame too.
Yeah.
No, we put in a line years ago.
I'm just telling you, it's very difficult to go in and not put a new track in and then all of a sudden you hit another line, because it was never tracked.
No, I
That
understand.
line will, the new line will replace that.
Well, it depends on which one you hit.
Maybe
Remember,
there's
there's
some
electric
estimates,
lines to the lights, everything goes.
Well, regardless, we're gonna run a line, we could run the 220 line, we can get some estimates on the line.
So
Somebody
let's
wants
just
to-
see where.
If somebody wants to donate some time or something like that, maybe we do have somebody that's involved in baseball, but.
Can we put that on the agenda for next month?
Yeah, that was my purpose of bringing it up, so I'm thinking.
Really?
Anything else?
For
New business.
New business, can we put to advertise for the 2 vacant spots for zoning hearing board? Yeah.
No, you don't have to.
Can you do that now?
Yeah, I already have it.
Okay, announcements? Announcements? I think I'd like to take a second too and just, again, thank Bev Jordan for going and getting the water line and Care for paying for it. That was really nice of you guys. We know we're not gonna freeze now, and we appreciate that. Appreciate you guys. Any other announcements? All right, public comment, non-agenda items, non-agenda matters of general topic concern.
Rich Oliver, Bakerstown Road. Since we have a building code official now, will PCS be dissolved from their contract? Will we be doing plan reviews in-house? No plan reviews in-house, commercial or residential?
No, I'm not certified to do plan reviews or inspections. I'm simply a building code official.
What is that?
Well, and I oversee the administration of the UCC program here in West here. So I would be filing reports. There are certain types of non-UCC permits that I can sign off on, but everything will remain essentially unchanged from
Okay,
what's
it's still going to be
now.
the same.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Mary Calavota, Crystal Spring Court. I found out when I saw the list of official roads in Western Township that there is a Crystal Springs Court. There is a Crystal Springs, but it's in Cranberry Township, so I'm wondering if we can get it changed from Crystal Springs Court to Crystal Springs Court. That's the first thing. Second thing is, if someone, they were talking about this concrete pad, if someone trips over that concrete pad and injures themselves, is this board prepared to assume the liability for that? No? Oh, it's a question. Third question is, I had a question about one of the gentlemen that you appointed to the planning commission, Brian Becker. What are his qualifications? Is anybody going to answer that? Is he going to step down from the zoning hearing board, or has he resigned?
He will be required to.
He'll be required to, okay. So you're gonna have to appoint somebody else to the zoning hearing board, is that correct?
Correct. Right now.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Peter Koval. I'm 15 years old. I've lived in the township my entire life. Currently at 311 West Stars Road. As you can see, I'm a Boy Scout, and I'm currently working towards my Eagle rank. As you may know, the Eagle rank requires a service project to be done, and I'd like to share my idea with you, which was to rejuvenate the present Beresford Memorial on Oak Road. This would include basic repairs, culminating in a final ceremony in commemoration of the renewal of the memorial. I find that this project is appropriate because it's been 20 years since the memorial was last refurbished in 2006. It's also the 250th anniversary of our nation. I've been in touch with the American Legion, specifically with Post Commander Mr. Dennis Martinez. He seems enthusiastic about my project, and I'd like to get in contact with someone from the township to explore this idea further. As I understand, the township owns the memorial. So my question is, what would be the best way to continue that discussion?
I'll give you my phone number.
Yeah, I emailed you, the number on the, or the, excuse me, the email on the website. You may not have seen it, I understand, but I just wanted to present myself personally.
I'll give you my card with the phone number on it.
Peter, when do you need to have this done?
Before I'm 18, so.
Yeah.
Before 13, but I'd like to do, if possible, the physical labor on the memorial in April with the ceremony in the summer months.
Great. Congratulations.
Did we get the flag fixed no more?
I want to bring up a subject that I think has been sort of hiding in the shadows, which is the West Erie, Indiana Township Comprehensive Plan. And I think that plan that we're operating under since 2011 is sorely in need of updating and development. And I think according to the records, we do have a proposal that has been accepted. Is that correct, Mr. Mayor? For doing that? Yes, we do. And we do have a grant. Do we have a grant for doing it?
Not yet.
I thought we received the MAP grant.
We did not.
We did not receive it. Okay, well, then we need to have a grant, and we thought we had a proposed start of March, April of 2025. So I guess without a grant, we have no proposal start then. Do you have any evidence or can you provide any information on what the current status is for that comprehensive planning process to begin?
That is basically up to the board. We talked about this at the budget workshop, that if the board wanted to proceed without the grant, we do have that money budgeted. I just need that authorization from the board. But the board is also aware that we applied for a second round of MAP grants. Because of the budget impasse that happened in the Commonwealth last summer, there was a huge holdup. It took a long time to get any results. A lot of people applied. There weren't a lot of grants available. So our advisor from the Commonwealth said, apply for the next round, which I already did. So I did that at the beginning of December, so we should know in a month or two.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You have to sign this. No. Okay. I finally got to a meeting. I usually have every other meeting or sporting event. But I'm here because.
Your name and address, sorry.
What's that?
Your name and address.
Oh, okay. You don't want me to give Annie Cadney, 66 McCrell Road, Russellton. So First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. McCurry, Leonard Verdetto, I don't think he's here, and whoever else is on the revitalization, because I love the fact that we're getting Russellton looked at and updated. So I want to thank you, Mr. McCurry. I'm so excited for that and to help in any way I can. I'd like to see us have a referendum to go back to everyone being, what's the word I want?
At large.
At large. I knew what I was going to say. I have it all, and I know I only get like so many minutes. The district doesn't work. This election, I had no one to vote for. And I don't need someone to represent me at a meeting. I could come up and represent myself. And the fact that my own brother isn't in my own district. So if he were running for election, I couldn't even vote for him. And maybe the people that are in my district, I may not care to vote for. So therefore, is it possible to get a referendum put on the next election that we go back to all at large versus district? Because I will tell you, and I can hear him up there right now, my father, Peter Katniss, if you didn't know him, well, you missed a good person. Because he used to say, quote, if you want to be a supervisor, you need to know north, south, east, and west of this township. And he did. And he did. Matter of fact, he took Mom and I on many field trips, and we've even expanded over those years. But, yeah, so I'd like to go back to that, because I'd like to have the opportunity and have all the residents of West Deer have the opportunity to vote who we feel are the best people to be sitting on the board, not who we're forced to vote for.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any consideration for putting that on the future meeting agenda?
I would consider it. I think it's a good
I think
idea.
we all probably talked about it, but I don't know what we have to do. to get it started.
will dictate the
Mr. Major, can you inform us of what we need to do on getting that process, or do we need to make have a meeting about talking with it, or?
Well, if the board wants to discuss it, we can put it on the agenda for next meeting, discuss it in detail. Discuss, we do have some time, not a lot, it has to be done by, there's so many, I believe 16 weeks. 16 weeks prior to an election taking place, that the board has to pass an ordinance that goes up to the county.
16 weeks, so we'd be looking at November.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Justina Nelson, local branch manager at 744 Little Deer Creek Valley Road. Nice to see some familiar faces. Me and my team have been doing a lot to infiltrate some stuff in the community here to help stimulate some growth behind the curtain. I'm asking for a meeting with the current finance officer and any board members that would like to attend. I come with a team of well-knowledge people that I'm hoping that we can offer some guidance and just some help alleviate some stress when it comes to that finance managing. So I would love a meeting in February at some point, and I will continue to reach out to all of you. So thank you.
Nicole Zeeland, Glasgow Road. I'd like to request that the TOA hearing location be moved to a venue that has enough space to accommodate everyone. There were quite a few of us standing out in the foyer today and we weren't able to hear, so I had to download Zoom onto my phone and then listen to it through there. Also regarding live streaming, I emailed Mr. Mader asking when the other township meetings would be live streamed as promised, and he said that it was up to the board to decide. So I'd like to request that the board approve the live streaming of the planning commission meetings as well as the zoning hearing board meetings. Thank you.
Is that something that we can take action on, or do we have to put it on the agenda?
Well, I mean, let's put it this way, under the new recent Sunshine Act decision, I think you probably are aware through maybe one of some of your recent Supreme Court decision, I should say, regarding the Sunshine Act. You may receive notice of from your township supervisors groups, et cetera. We are back to the old the old world where we can add things to the agenda, amend the agenda, do a motion to amend the agenda, add something, and then take action on it. I will say something like that because of the logistics that Mr. Mayor would be able to explain better than I, of having someone running live streaming at these various meetings. I would suggest that because of the cost and resources, that it be discussed on a posted agenda before we take action, but that's up to the board.
Jack Bird, General Fund. Real quick, I want to mention, I didn't have to ship and brought up in the Low Road program that is being discussed. But there's the, I don't know if it's a drainage culvert or a bridge on Lick Road. It's been out for some time. It's one lane. There's stop signs on either end and barrels along it. Is there a plan to get that repaired soon? I was just curious about that.
Yeah, I mean, I have looked at that bridge, and I think Mr. Mayor, although he's been going a lot of different directions on grants, if he sees an opportunity to go for a grant, you've already applied for it? Okay.
Okay, I just didn't know if it was on the agenda. And I'd also like to put a plug in for a different venue for that PRD for the golf course, because there's elder people that were out there, and some of them went home. They didn't have anywhere to sit, so thank you.
For that, I think that if we don't end up changing venues, we could at minimum open the doors so people can hear. I think that should be made aware of that. You know, sometimes we just forget. Make us aware that we can open the doors.
Where that extra parking will come in handy.
So we, unfortunately, are gonna have that meeting right before our regular meeting, so, and I know that a change of venue is possible.
It is not, because we announced it on the record. The only way we can do that would be to run 2 additional advertisements and change the location, which I think is also, I'd be uncomfortable because we announced it publicly to the folks who were here as to where they should be next month. But certainly in the future, we can explore, we previously used some of the fire halls successfully. The logistics can be a little bit tricky, getting everything set up. But certainly the most important thing I know for the board and myself as running the hearing is make sure people can see and be seen and hear and be heard. So if we need to rearrange some seating, find a way to get more people into the room, we'll do what we gotta do. With understanding that there's a fire marshal always around, making sure that we don't overpack.
Do we have an occupancy listed?
I think it's unlimited then. Maybe we could explore a speaker that would go outside?
Wait.
I don't
I
know, maybe not. That's beyond my pay grade, so forget I didn't say that.
Extra chairs.
Yeah, 3 more chairs.
I just had something to add. Robert Roth, 91 Millerstown, Comerville Road. And I also have a property on 15 Crest Street in Russellton. Ted's actually at home watching on the Zoom, and he wanted me to follow up on a few things publicly before he met with you guys about some other things. One of his concerns about the concrete is, who knows if there's any settling underneath of it. It's really not a good idea to pave over top of it and start using it for parking when you don't know what the structure is underneath of it. You mentioned about an oil pit possibly, service pit.
We've been living on it for 35 years.
Correct, but it's been foot traffic. You had asphalt on top of it.
They filled it in. I mean, the worst that could happen is it could crack. You're not going to collapse. It's not like there's a void under there.
Correct, but if you leave the concrete in and you just go over top of it, then you don't know if it's under there. You don't know if there's other voids at this end of the building, that end of the building.
All the more reason why we don't want to go through it, to go around it.
That has nothing to do with the water line. It's for future if you start parking on it. That's the concern.
Well, first of all, it would be a temporary situation. If we have a master plan for the whole area, I think it's a temporary situation. You just park on it temporarily until we figure out what we're going to do with everything else.
So personally, I think the concrete should be removed, and if you're debating on putting asphalt there for parking, if there is settling underneath of it, then you can put compactable fill in and leave it as gravel temporarily if you're unsure if it's going to be dirt or asphalt at a later date. But at least this way, the concrete's removed. He has no concern about removing the concrete. I mean, we dig out footers that are 4 foot thick, we knock buildings down. We're not concerned about 18 inches thick of concrete. So you guys can discuss further details with him. I just wanted to publicize, our end of it, that's all.
Okay, thank you.
Another thing I do have to say, non-agenda, something needs to be done about the triaxle traffic through Russellton leaving the mine. I mean, it's terrible. The roads are falling apart. I don't know if their truck wash is not working. They're coming out of there filthy. There's mud from there up to Popeyes, all the way up Little Deer Creek. I know they're running a broom, but all that's doing is slinging it off on people's property. I mean, that's not really a good solution. So maybe as a township, we can look into that a little bit better, get on them a little bit to maintain their stuff, keep their wash bays going. If they can't keep their wash bays going, then shut them down. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, on our end, Robbie, I had one of my sergeants last week go down and speak with them, and they actually pulled a couple of their trucks over, spoke with some of the drivers, and spoke with Tucson because they're running some of their trucks through there too. So he went down and spoke with some of the administration with Tucson also. So
Okay.
we're working on taking care of that issue.
Good. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
But just to follow up on that, who's actually responsible for ensuring the roadway cleaning? I mean, is that something we have to make a complaint to PennDOT about, or?
Well, yeah, it's a state road. I mean, we've been trying to work with them, with their wash pit, with the debris that's on the road, with the way they're covering the trucks when they're leaving there. I mean, and we've been pulling them over and we've been citing them.
Yeah, I can attest to the day that it rained all day. I came through there and my truck was covered in mud.
There's multiple avenues that you can go with that. I know that in the past, there's been calls made to, it's not necessarily them leaving, it's when they're coming back. And they're not parked, and you can actually call DEP in Knoxville, and they can inspect that site as well. That's happened in the past.
They were down there in the past. I forget how many years ago that they were involved.
Well, the bridge has to be bonded. You can't go across it without it. So whoever bonded the bridge for the dump there, that's who has the bond on the road.
Yeah, they have the entire bond, and then in the past, they have spot patch on the shoulders. They've done those cuts.
Well, all I'm saying, Bill, is if we contact those people, or Chief, you get a hold of that, and then you got them by the purse hairs and say, hey, look, you call the bond. Yeah, you call the bond. Because they can't, they had to bond the bridge in the road all the way down to it with all the truck traffic. If they're not keeping it clean, which I agree, they're not keeping it clean, and there's gonna be an accident down there, especially with fleas involved, but that will change your life in time. They get pretty slippery.
Salt and good fall. Chief Loper?
Yes. I'll make sure it's clean.
Get him, Bob.
Scott Wools up Schuster Road. I wanted to thank Jim and Bev for coming back. Hope that continues. It's nice to see them here after they've left their long-term positions. I'd like to welcome all of you to the board, some new positions, and some of you were re-elected. You worked harder than ever to get where you are. I want to encourage you to continue to work that hard in order to earn back the trust that a lot of residents feel has been eroded by West Deer Township. We are expecting you to work together as one board as a whole, not a group of three against a group of two. As supervisors, you are asked to make decisions for all 13,000 residents, even though only a small number voted for you. Work on building up the confidence of those who did not vote for you. I am looking forward to working with all of you board members in the future and expect to be challenged by me in the next few years as I continue to help make the place I call home even greater. Thank you.
Scott, just to touch on that, there's been a lot of communication between the five of us since I've taken office, so we've been talking. I've only been on a headlock once, and everything seems to be working out okay.
I broke down with
It's only the first meeting.
We've done okay. We're doing okay. We're getting things done.
Before we end tonight, can we make an announcement that the Russellton Group from the Deer Lakes Regional Revitalization Committee is going to be meeting on February 16th at Westier Number 1 at 6 p.m. And our state representative and senator will be there also to discuss our plans and ideas for Russellton. February 16th, it's a Monday at Westier Number 1.
6 o'clock, right?
Yeah, 6 p.m.
The village of Russell.
Village.
6 o'clock.
Still call the comment?
Jim Calvert, 846 Ashley Road, Gibson. You know, every time I turn on the news, I see things and I think, oh my God, like I have no control over what's happening in my life anymore. And every time I come to a Westier Township meeting, I feel like, oh my God, I have no control over what's going on in this township. I apologize, but I would have had something far more eloquently written. I tried to jot some thoughts down here, but I just want to say this. It's a shame. I'm going to read it from my phone because I'm so emotional about this. I can't really probably speak eloquently, but it's important that I express myself. It's a shame that because a lifelong resident has offered this board some resistance over the years, that you now have eliminated him from the planning commission. I don't know anything about the nominees, but at least Mr. Hollabaugh drew up some plans with a park in front of that dog shelter that I thought was pretty cool. Nobody else was doing that. I feel like all along, since I've started coming to these meetings, that for some reason the planning commission was being blackballed from being involved in this building being built and in what's going on in this community with the dog shelter. For some reason, somebody's just trying to shut them out. Like I said, I don't know about these two other candidates, but you just eliminated a Carnegie Mellon architect who's lived in this township for, I'm not sure how many years, at least 60, maybe 50. And his heart's in this township, whether you like him or not, whether you get along with him or not. I think that the points he raises are really for the betterment of this township. And you just did a 3-2 vote, and I feel like one of you should have abstained from that vote. And that didn't happen. And I'll say no more. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Fury, second by
Thanks.
Mr. Williams.